Breaker Crunchers! It's time for another exciting new episode of Couch Crunchers. It is Saturday night in Phoenix, Arizona. As you can see, we have a guest tonight. Corban, the Comic Barbarian, joins us from Absolute Geek and his Comic Barbarian blog podcast.
Yeah, YouTube channel, podcast.
Channel.
It's getting to work. It's had its baby steps and it's been kind of flopping, but we're gathering our stride as the year ends, I think.
But look at him. He's got like the headset and everything. Larry from STS Guys says hi.
Hey, Larry.
So he's got his headset and everything.
I'm trying to get some background. We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's been fun. I'm not as good as YouTube pros, but I'm getting there.
I need to come pick up my mic from you if you got a replacement. Then
I do. I'm looking right at it, so I have it set for you. Snowball is in good hands. Appreciate you getting me through as long as you have.
Yeah.
The goal would have been this Tucson Comic-Con, but alas, this year's been shot into the fire.
I know. That just means we're gonna have to hit it hard. 2021.
Oh yeah.
The con circuit.
I still got the cup that Sam talked me into getting the root beer cup. I'm looking right at that too. Like everything I'm about to say, yeah, like we gotta wait till next year. But I'm gonna make up for lost time.
I'm thinking that on the bottom of the cup we'll like prick our thumbs or something and put like our blood fingerprints. Like all of us will have it on the bottom of our mugs, and then we'll just like clear coat it or something.
Speaking of the cup, Corban, I have a couple cans of that vanilla cream soda you were so excited about.
What?
All you gotta do is go pick it up.
If you're coming back on Wednesday night for more Dodgeball, I'll bring you a can. How's that?
I'm about to say, see, you bribing me, man. That's not cool, but okay.
Corban's gotta do his dance.
Oh yeah, I was loving that. That soda was like the best soda I've ever had in my life. Like I still think about it whenever I see that cup, and I haven't touched the cup since I rinsed it out from last year now. Oh my goodness, the memories.
Well, the other day I had we hadn't done dishes in a while, and I'm like, I need something to drink, so I got out the mug and drank some water out of the mug, and I'm like, this doesn't taste good.
It's not the same. No, it was nothing but joy coming out of the mug every day for 3 days.
No, I think they specially formulated the metal to just work with Wild Build soda. Anything else is a no-go, guys.
Yeah, I did try it with some Dr. Pepper cream soda, and it's something about the sugar content. It has to be sky high in order for it to taste good in that mug.
It has to be borderline. It's going to kill Max. Like that's like kill Max, and then here's Wild Bill soda. Like that's the sugar volume per cup. So Max can have like half a cup next time we go to a con. And then if he drinks any more of that, he's just a sip. He's going to be in a diabetic coma for the rest of the weekend. So we need to make sure,
he's got to choose that first flavor wisely.
He's done. Huh?
Make it count.
He's got to choose that very first flavor very wisely. Make it count.
So Max is on his way to Texas right now, so he's going to be off the next few weeks. But it appears that he's listening, and he says, "What's up, guys?"
Hey, Max, miss you out here.
And then Quantum Kyle says, "It's Spooktober."
Quantum Kyle, let me tell you, we don't care about Spooktober over here because we're in the middle of Dodgeball season. You're talking to movie mechanic Corban, the Comic Book Barbarian of Phoenix area's fastest growing Dodgeball league, Triple D Dodgeball League. And
dude, I want to make you guys a logo. I want to make you guys a logo that behind the logo, whatever your name is, it has a wrench. And I think that would be perfect.
Oh my gosh!
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
Yeah, and everybody's be like, "Why is it a wrench?" Be like, "Dude, you're not a true fan if you don't know why it's a wrench. Like, what's wrong with you?"
Oh man!
So, as I was saying before we went on the air, so I had to do this commercial for anything I could think of, right? So I chose my son's youth sports league. It's Paladin, and it is so bad, dude, that I think that if it gets out there, just because of how bad it is, it's going to get 1 million views. Like it's just going to be one of those look at this crappy thing did we lose Sam a minute? So let me add this one.
Yeah, I'm about to say Sam was
sorry about that
for a second there.
Sorry about that.
I was confused. I'm like, who's joining us? Yeah, so it's so bad. This commercial's so bad that it's going to get 1 million views overnight. That's just what's going to happen.
It's like that.
You're talking about your marketing commercial venture?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was good, dude. So they showed us these videos. They're like, this is what it needs to be like. And they showed us that Doritos commercial with Sam Elliott where they're playing what's the song with Billy Ray Cyrus and the Old Town Road? They're playing Old Town Road, and Sam Elliott's mustache is dancing to the it's like a face-off or whatever, a duel. And they're showing us all these things. I was like, you expect me to do that? No. I had to bribe my son $5 just to say it's so fun to play soccer.
Oh man!
Meanwhile, Sam Elliott walked away with $1 million from Doritos.
Wow.
So, but so this week, guys, we're going to be talking about. I don't want to call it a horror movie so we'll get more into that. But the falsely advertised horror movie, Antebellum. Which we all saw, and if you're just joining us, you can see that Corban is here from the Absolute Geek Podcast and Comic Book Barbarian, and he's gonna come talk to us. I wanted to get the diversity opinion out on this movie because I wanted to see what the opinions were. But before we do that, I want to know, Corban, and we'll let you go first since you're the guest and you haven't been on in a while. Is there anything that you are watching? Oh, I know. It's such a special moment.
I'm going to say I love it.
Is there anything you're watching right now that you want to get the Cruncher Nation on the bandwagon?
I feel so disappointed in saying that I really have been watching a lot of TV. I rewatched or started watching The Wire again, and I just caught up. I'm on what's the penultimate? I forgot the what do you describe the second to last? Anyway.
Penultimate.
There you go. Okay, I was good. I was right. For The Boys.
You would know better than I do, dude. I'm a dummy. Like, you're the smart one. So this is a really bad pairing because we got Sam the lawyer, Corban that works in the librarian, college graduate, like smart, one of the smartest dudes I know, and then me, the dummy, that just wants to know how to use Facebook real good.
Oh, man.
No.
What are you doing? Just sitting at your desk smelling your own farts? Is that all you do at work, man?
Dude, I'm so stupid that I don't like. You think it's farts, and I'm like, oh, is there roses somewhere? Like, what is that? Is someone making popcorn? Like, I can't even differentiate what smell I'm smelling. That's how dumb I am.
No, Lance is the artist. Lance is the artist.
Seriously.
Well, Corban, if you're not watching anything new, what are you reading right now?
Okay, now
that we know he has an answer to.
So yeah, I was reading this. I've been reading this really good book. It's a Scandinavian mystery book called The Crow, and it's actually by they're Scandinavian rock artists / writers, and it's this 3-part book that was printed out in I'm forgetting exactly where, but it was it was printed in the States as one big book, and it's this sprawling tale of like child trafficking and murder and it's a lot to dig into, but it's also been like very well written, and so I've been diving into that on a book front, and really enjoying that. And it's by Eric Axel's son. That's the name. But the book is called The Crow, or The Crow Girl. That's what it is. And it's been interesting. But basically, a detective is trying to find out these mysterious child murders that have been happening, and it goes from different perspectives. So you have one detective, the other detective, the person who's killing the children, and then the children as they meet their end. And it's really dark, but it's also really engrossing. So that's been one thing. On the comic front, just been reading a lot of Batman books that I regret because they're horrible. In terms of events that mean absolutely. Oh no, that's a classic. No, but no, you had the recent Joker War and everything, and they're like, oh, this is the story to end all Batman Joker stories, which I'm sure even saying this to y'all know it wasn't. But like, not only was it not, it wasn't even anywhere close. It was ridiculous. So just the normal comings, ons, and gones. I still have, and this is pathetic. I would show on my phone. I still have the app for Shonen Jump from Sam. I've been slacking. My whole comic book barbarian existence has been slacking. But I told myself gonna see Sam I told him last week. I'm gonna see Sam last week. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna tell her, hey, I read it. And then I said last week I'm gonna do it. And now I'm gonna say it this week. I'm gonna do it, Sam.
That's like me. Sam has had a few grape Wild Bill sodas waiting for me at his house, and I just can't seem to get over there. I finally told Max, I was like, dude, he lives by your mother-in-law. Will you just go get it? Because I can't. Obviously, I suck at this.
Oh man. No,
but what's the book? Right. What's the book called you were reading before? The
Crow Girl.
The Crow Girl. Okay.
Yep. You know what that reminds me of a lot of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
So I want to read those.
It's very in that vein, Sam. I'm glad you mentioned that. It's like definitely in that same type of feel throughout. Dark and I mean Scandinavian mystery has its own like beat to it, but yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
So it reminds me. So my favorite book I've ever read by my favorite author of all time. My favorite author is Chuck Palahniuk, who wrote Fight Club and Choke. But he has a book called Lullaby, which is supposed to be turned into a movie. But I think you would really like Lullaby by Chuck Palahniuk. Really? So it adds a supernatural element to it. But it's largely about the same thing. It's this guy, he's researching these child SIDS cases, and it turns out there's this poem that's centuries old that these parents have been reading their children, and the next morning the children are dead.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So it's a calling song, essentially. And it is so good. Yeah.
It's like the
I
Ring.
read that book 3 times.
Really? Okay. Yeah. You said the Lullaby. I'm adding it to my 2 list right now.
Lullaby by Chuck Palahniuk. So yeah, if you like the Kurt Vonnegut and stuff like that, like if you like that kind of stuff, Chuck Palahniuk is right. I have every single one of his books. So he's written about 15 books, and I have them all, and I've read them all multiple times. They're so good.
Wow.
So
okay, for sure. I appreciate it.
I'm not a big reader, but I'll read his stuff. Sam, what about you? You watching anything? You reading anything? I know you got the Dodgeball League. Is that taking up all your time, or
the Dodgeball League does take up a lot of time. I find myself trying to slide it into conversations. Maybe not subtly, maybe very forcefully. I'm kind of jamming it into conversations. It's so much fun. The co-founder, Brian Newell, shout out, Brian. He messaged me earlier this week and he says, is it just me, or do you feel motivated for the next 2 or 3 days after Dodgeball? And I was like, I feel like I could kick ass after Dodgeball. I feel so good after playing Dodgeball. So yeah, it is a big deal. Fastest growing Dodgeball league in the city right now.
Sam, let me ask you, do you get more of that shot of adrenaline to like get things done after a game of Dodgeball or when you went on American Ninja Warrior?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Definitely playing Dodgeball, because my Ninja Warrior career, all the 2 seasons I made appearance, the actual time on the course was probably less than a minute total between 2 seasons, whereas these Dodgeball games, they last at least a minute each.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So yeah, I definitely get a lot more enjoyment out of the Dodgeball than – I mean, it's a good story. The Ninja Warrior stuff's a good story, but Dodgeball is life.
And let me say, Sam has enriched my work life for sure, because I told my coworkers, I was like, yeah, so they're like, we talk, what are we doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm playing Dodgeball. And they're like, Dodgeball? I was like, yeah. And, they're like, okay, like, what is that about? I'm like, yeah, so I don't really know. It should be fun. It should be exciting. I haven't played Dodgeball in like 6 years, right? So the very next week I come in and I jam my hand just by sitting down wrong. And I was like, and they're like, you got injured playing Dodgeball? I was like, not playing Dodgeball, but like in the act of it. But I was like, yo, it was so good. So I got the link and I sent it to them. And when my coworker texted me, he goes, you sucked out there. And I was like, and like not even 10 minutes after I get that, I got a call from my pops, and he was watching because, all of us, my brothers were playing. He's like, yo, you spent more time out of frame than you were in the game. And I was like, what? So I'm
Everybody
watching
does.
Yeah, and I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, you know what? This is good. It was fun. Like in a moment you're coming, it's a rush. Like the 3, 2, 1, and you're ready to go. I'm telling you, it's an adrenaline boost. But then I feel like almost like I'm back in high school playing basketball again. Because once the game film comes out, then you're looking at what you could do better. Okay, you know, when Sam and his team first came, they had this move, and I kept calling it some type of, I didn't know what to say. Like Sam would spin, and the other guy would go the other way, and all I see is like spinning. People getting ready to throw. I'm like, what the?
It's the hurricane, baby. That's the hurricane.
He sold from Smash Brothers Jigglypuff. It's that's what he's doing. So he's mimicking Jigglypuff and doing kind of this spinning, sleeping thing. And no, I'm just kidding.
All I know is it was well coordinated,
marshmallow flying your
perfectly executed, and your boy got hammered. Like
there is no question. There is no question that Sam is the most athletic member of the Couch Crunchers. This is true. So you made me laugh inside, Corban, because you're like, oh, play dodgeball, and the next day I like twisted my wrist or something like that. That is so much more activity. Like I throw my back out, go into the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and not even the process of going to the bathroom, just sitting down. You know,
hey, you doing what you can, man. You know,
I throw my back out, unlocking my front door.
Oh wow!
Like, so just wait, dude. It only goes downhill from there.
Oh no!
Well, Corbin's he's got a long ways before that hits him. He's still looking pretty athletic on the court.
Thank goodness. I appreciate y'all.
He's been working that pump fake. That's Corbin's signature move right now is the pump fake.
Yep. And let me tell you, like, here's a secret. It's for two things. One, on the off chance that it might free somebody. Two, my aim really isn't that good, so I need to recalibrate my arm. The pump fake.
It's like Charles Barkley trying to hit a golf ball.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's one of the best SNL skits of all time, dude.
Oh my god!
And then they have him doing like regular things, like opening the door, and he's like stalling in between. Dude, it's dude.
Like the pump fake is so where the ball would go if I released it initially, and then the second throw is where it probably should go. It's a lot of fun, y'all. I gotta say, like I've been telling my friends about it. It's been a blast. I will say that.
So Max is apparently cheating on me because he just said Corbin's hotter than I am. So my heart broke a little bit. I know.
Pushing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Corban likes that comment. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, what about our hetero life commitment that we made?
Oh man, we gotta bring that up again. Can we put that to bed finally?
Like here we are. Yeah. Here's the one thing. I will say though, you keep the shaved head look fancy, man. I gotta give you that. Always.
So I'm starting to combat. So you see how I get this little shiner right here, right, from my light above me. So I'm starting to combat that a little bit. I have this lamp that I turn on that kind of dilutes it just a little bit, you know. And sure. My boss said something funny because I use the same camera that I use for the show for work, and it always goes out of focus and it won't go back in. And she told me, she's like, it's probably the shine on your head that's doing it. The camera can't like figure out how to focus back. So I got this lamp on, and so far it's been working, guys. It's weird.
You know what else? You know what else could take the shine off your forehead? Is some Elmer's glue. Just rub it on. Get a nice matte film on your forehead.
I'm gonna have a makeup chair. I'm just.
And you just peel it off afterwards.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have Anna, get the movie effects makeup out and just start blotting me with whatever the hell they call it. What foundation? Thank you. But dude, Kyle says somebody made a plasma based lightsaber.
Yeah, so there's a YouTube channel called Hacksmith, and he made an actual lightsaber. It comes with a proton pack like the Ghostbusters, and it reaches around from the back, and it comes up and it attaches to a lightsaber, and it's like a 4,000 degree plasma torch is what it is.
But does it end like?
Yeah, it has a blade that's like 3 feet long. Oh. And they used it to cut through a steel door on their YouTube video.
Jeez. Did it cut through quickly?
It wasn't. I mean, it was about as fast as you see in the movies where they use the blade to kind of cut the lock out. It was about that fast. It's 4,000 degree plasma torch.
That's pretty sick.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Guys, am I sounding better right now?
Yeah, you sound great. Hacksmith is the name of the
I just changed my mic. Hacksmith. Hacksmith on YouTube. So Crunchers, go check it out. Hacksmith. Apparently there's a lightsaber, which I will probably be watching after this show tonight.
Yeah,
guys, go ahead.
The build part of it is like 15 minutes, and the actual lightsaber they only show right at the beginning and then right at the end. So
interesting.
The rest of it is how it was made.
So I dug deep in. So we were talking about what we've been watching and stuff like that. I dug deep into the vault of some of my favorite shows, and I rewatched seasons 1 of 2 of Reaper. Do you guys remember that show?
Ooh, okay.
You guys remember Reaper?
I've heard about it. Yes, I've never actually. No.
It is so good, and if you guys want to watch it, it's on my Plex account that you guys both have access to. But it's also on abc.com for free. Reaper. So it's Tyler Labine from Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which we'll be talking about in 2 weeks. And it's like the first interaction with this guy, and it is one of the best shows ever. And it got canceled because of the writer's strike. That's really what did it in. And,
so it came out about the same time as Heroes?
Yeah, but it's better than Heroes. Heroes went downhill fast, man.
Because of the writer's strike.
Yeah, but it's like that first season with what was Zachary Quinto's character? Skylar? What was his character? Siler. That first season with Heroes was so good, try to save the cheerleader, save the world, and then it just went
fizzled out.
Yeah, and then they tried to do the reboot, and that was even worse. Not reboot, but the revival, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But the two ladies that created Reaper, they did a show maybe 2 years ago called Kevin Probably Saves the World. And I watched all that so that got canceled after one season. And I watched all that for the first time, and it's just like Reaper. But the 14th episode of that show, they have Tyler Labine and Brett Harrison from Reaper come and reprise their roles and kind of give a nice little cap to the show. So that's what I've been watching. And then everybody seems to be watching this American Murder show. Have you guys heard of that? The documentary? It's not a show, it's a movie.
I've been watching Bly Manor. That's what I'm going after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta check this out.
Bly Manor. I'm excited to watch that. It's not getting the acclaim that the first season did. Hill House. We're talking about that next week, right, Sam?
Yeah.
I
don't want to say too much. Just that I started it.
Yeah, but I'm going to be starting that with my wife probably tonight or tomorrow or something. But that's the I don't want to call it a sequel. It's an anthology series, The Haunting series by Mike Flanagan. So this is the second. I don't know what you would call it. The second
volume
installment volume,
sure.
I guess. Yeah. But it's new characters. It has nothing to do with the first season, but it's kind of like the American Horror Story does the same thing.
Okay.
But we'll be talking about that next week. Yeah. Cool. So, but yeah, the American Murder, dude. That's the guy in Colorado that killed his wife a couple years ago, Chris Watts. That documentary, it's not a series, it's a documentary film, and dude, that guy is messed up, man. Killed his wife and his 2 little girls to be with his mistress, and then just So yeah, if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend watching that.
Yeah, that's an actual thing, and I remember the news story. The wife and the daughters disappeared, and they were asking him if he knew about them, and he just kind of clammed up and disappeared for a little while.
Yeah, they finally got him. He was sentenced to 3 life terms in prison. But
I don't want to talk about that. That's super depressing, dude.
No, I'm just saying it's a good watch. I mean, if people are needing stuff, dude, what I found is I'm starting to dig I'm starting to dig deep into the vault of stuff that I watched before, because I've just, I've gone through everything, and I like live action stuff more than some of the. I tried to watch the real Ghostbusters the other day. I went one episode and turned it off. And I'm a big Ghostbusters fan, but the documentary stuff has been kind of keeping me afloat, because a lot of things have been canceled or delayed or whatever. We just found out one of my favorite shows on Netflix, Glow, which was renewed for a 4th or 5th. It was supposed to be their final season. I don't remember if it's 4 or 5, but was it 4th?
Yeah,
they canceled it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not being made anymore because of stupid coronavirus. They did the same thing to another show that I really like on Netflix called The Society, and they canceled that too.
One? The werewolf wizard one?
No, the werewolf one is The Order. The Society is the one where it's a group. It's kind of like Lord of the Flies a little bit. It has that kind of feel to it, where a group of kids go off on a field trip, and the next day they end up back in their town, but all the parents are gone, and they kind of have to build this whole governmental society, and they don't know what happened to their parents. They can't leave the town, so it's very much like in Under the Dome and Lord of the Flies kind of meets. So, but yeah, they canceled it, and for the last 6 months, it's had a thing on the coming spring 20 or winter 2020 or whatever, January 2021 or whatever it was. Now it's gone. They canceled it because of coronavirus.
Sad,
dude. It sucks, man.
It's a shame. A lot of it's
yeah. It's like every time I come on and Corban's like, "Oh, I haven't read it yet, man. I haven't read your comics yet." And I'm like, "Oh, it's coming. It'll happen someday. I'm sure it'll happen someday."
Yo, you know what? I'm making it. You know what? All right. This is how Sam got me on Dodgeball again. I missed 1 week. Sam got me. Oh, he'll say it like 3 times. Like, you know what? Fine. You got me, man. He has a way of motivating. What's crazy?
Sam's used to it because I've been doing it to him for the past year, man. Dude, you gotta watch this anime. I'm like, yeah.
I don't even say it. I don't even say that, Lance.
You
I don't even
say it anymore.
You have to. I just you kind of are adjacent to anime, and I'm like, oh well, maybe you might like this. And you're like, and it's like his eyes glaze over, and he's like, what?
I tried, man. I fell asleep. That Hero Academia movie that we covered a few months ago. I fell asleep, man. It's not my bag. I think I'm starting to get more and more out of cartoons. What I've realized is even the DC cartoons that come out, the movies.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get bored of those too.
It's because they suck.
I was gonna say the quality of those is really falling off. To be fair, like especially not to go on a tangent, but that last one they did, their end game to that universe that they had built so far from the New 52 and up to like I guess Rebirth that they're going with, where they had Superman laced with kryptonite and Batman was a slave for Darkseid and everybody died. It was just crazy. It was just a lot of craziness.
Oh, it wasn't good.
I don't fault you for that. No. I mean, I guess it was because they brought everything to a conclusion, but it's just wild. Like Damian dies. Like you name the hero, and I can tell you they probably died. Shazam, like everyone. I was like, okay. And then it turns out that it was okay because Flash could just do another Flashpoint. So I'm like, what are we doing then?
So Flashpoint Paradox is probably my favorite of all those animated movies. I tried watching it again, and I got 15 minutes in and just got bored.
Oh wow, you okay, man?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. But the one that really pissed me off about those animated movies was the Red Sun, dude. Did you watch that one?
Anime. That's DC.
It's not anime, but I'm just talking about animated things in general.
Oh, I see.
I was kind of pivoting a little bit, but did you watch Superman Red Sun, Corban?
Yes, I did. It was okay. I mean, I might be one of the few people who wasn't a big fan of the actual comic. Like, I thought the premise was cool up to a point, and then it was just really like nearsighted. You know what I mean? And focus on the now. In terms of Superman in Russia, Stalin. Once that storyline's kind of cut and dry, then the rest just kind of goes. Well, let's reimagine stuff, which is cool, but I don't know. I saw it. I thought it was a faithful adaptation of the comic, which made it okay for me, but it wasn't like I like the death and Return of Superman better.
Well, they changed the ending. The thing that made Red Sun so unique was the ending, and so originally it was they go years into the future, and it just turns out it's this big loop, right? Well, they didn't do that in the movie, so the ending's completely different. And that's what pissed me off. Because the ending, I think, is one of the best parts of Red Son. And because it's just an interesting idea and it's unique and stuff like that. And they just bombed it, dude. The killing joke pissed me off.
I was going to say, that's another.
Mm-hmm.
They take some leeway. With it. I come to accept that, though, with any of their properties. I haven't remembered the last one. Even the killing joke.
Killing joke with the makeout.
Big one, exactly. Not only was it needless, but it was needless to just kind of like we didn't need that to build any more.
It was weird.
Exactly, and I get that it was a ploy to buy some more time to make it longer. No, just give us a 45-minute movie. We'll take that. Then some weird. They just messed everything up. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what they do now. They did the new Superman movie. I didn't like the animation of that one, but I did watch and I thought it was good. So we'll see what DC has in the works, I guess.
What's that one called? Did that one just come out? I think I saw it at
not Man Tomorrow, or let me look just to make sure.
So it's good though. You would recommend me watching it?
I liked it with Parasite and Superman Man of Tomorrow with Parasite and Martian Manhunter's in there. I thought it was okay. I liked that they were going back to Superman's roots. I did not like the animation. I can't stress that enough. But ultimately, I thought it was okay. And they did something interesting with Parasite that they hadn't done in previous comics that I remember.
The whole point that I was trying to make with the anime and why we pivoted into this was I think I'm just getting, I don't know. I just don't think I'm into animated properties anymore. Like, I think I've been spoiled by the live action stuff that I'm just like, whatever. I don't know.
I get you on that. I mean, you can phase out of something. I phase out of certain types. Anyone phase out whatever. I'm very much still into it. I'm just, at least you have a viable excuse. All I can tell Sam is I'm a slacker and I slacked on it. So, like, I'm into it. I just haven't done it. So, but I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, Corban, I don't know which of the things you were reading. I think you were working on One Piece, right?
Yes.
But there are some really dynamite series going on in Shonen Jump right now. So if I were to give you one recommendation, it's a shorter one. It's called Chainsaw Man, and it's a horror / action / comedy.
Okay. You had me at horror.
It is so good, dude. It's so good. Chainsaw Man. It is going to be made into an anime pretty soon. And I watched the behind the scenes of them recording the opening theme song, and it's just a bunch of people like screaming chainsaw into a mic. It's a very, very horror tone. Chainsaw! Yeah. Chainsaw!
Just you saying it that way, guys. Okay, I'm gonna look into it. Like you said, that My Hero Academia was recommended, and then Chainsaw Man. So I'm really going on it now. But
I think my issue with My Hero Academia is I only watched so much of it before going to see that movie. You know what I mean? And then half of it, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I think that was my biggest issue with My Hero Academia, the movie.
I did that with Assassination Classroom. Like, I started it, and I was like, what? And maybe I just didn't get the tone, and I'm willing to admit that I probably didn't. But I was like, so they're trying to kill the teacher? Like they're cool with the teacher, but it was just, I might have to go back into it. But I feel you. Like, it's a different beat.
The anime and the manga setups, like the concepts can be a little off the wall sometimes. But in the end, it turns into the story tropes that you're really familiar with, but just from a different perspective. And because of maybe some cultural differences between here and Japan, a lot of the story themes feel fresh. They feel new. And so that's why a lot of these new series coming out from Shonen Jump really hit me in a new way that they kind of opened my eyes to a lot of different things. Even One Piece, that's been around for over 20 years, still surprises me on a regular basis. So it's just cool. You get a different story that you haven't seen, and it's even different story ideas that are hard for Western audiences to even come up with, because we just don't have the same ideas about taboos or the afterlife or things like that. And so it's really interesting to get a different perspective on storytelling.
Definitely. Okay. I like that you said, like, the storytelling styles change. And it's something that we're not used to from one because we're so on another. That's intriguing. I mean, that's what I gotta say. That's what I was trying to say with the Scandinavian mystery. Like, I would never read that type of stuff normally, and I guess it's like a product of its environment, and reaching back and using the climate and everything, and these types of tropes. But you're right, each one is different, and I don't know. I like good stories. We all do, apparently. So there we are.
Yeah.
With it.
So tonight we're going to talk about Antebellum, starring Janelle Monáe. Monáe? Did I say that right? Monáe,
yeah.
Right? Who I knew as a singer. I had no idea she was an actress.
pretty new. She hasn't done a whole lot.
Yeah, I didn't know she was an actress, man. I was like, oh wait, this is the girl that used to have the big hair and wore the suit.
Yeah, I remember her first foray into acting was a Pepsi commercial.
Yeah,
was it?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, I had no idea. I knew she was on the Fun song. Some nights she's on that song. But and so when she came on the screen, I thought it was Kerry Washington until I watched the movie. I was like, that's not Kerry Washington.
Oh, goodness.
So it shows you how much I knew. But so let me give the premise of Antebellum. So Antebellum starts out with this. It's in Civil War times, right? People are being mistreated. It's basically everything we've seen in every other Civil War movie. It's just effed up, right?
It's pre Civil War South. So the black people portrayed in the movie are enslaved by the Confederate whites. And it's like a plantation. There's Confederate soldiers who are kind of keeping guard. There's a young white woman who appears to be the head of the household or married to the head of the household. So it's very much what you might consider a stereotypical portrayal of
that time period,
black, pre-Civil War South.
Right. But the one difference was, and correct me if I'm wrong, the plantation was run by actual Confederate soldiers, right?
Yeah. So all of the men and guards who were at this plantation were wearing Confederate soldier uniforms.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then midway through the movie, it seemed to take a while to get to this point, but then all of a sudden we see the main character, Janelle Monáe, in modern times giving lectures, and apparently she wrote a book, if I'm not mistaken, right? So she's giving lectures about this book and stuff like that. And then we see that she's doing a intercom interview or whatever, Zoom meeting or whatever, with the same actress that's playing the house lady. That is Jena Malone.
House lady. Gina Malone.
Yeah, Gina Malone. So you're like, what's going on here? At this point, I thought I had the movie figured out, right? Because we've all seen the trailer, right? We saw the trailer where the plane's flying through the sky, it flickers out, and then it comes back and everything. So you're thinking, this is a time travel movie.
Yep.
They're going back. They're going in the future. They're stealing prolific black people and taking them back in time to the time when these horrible atrocities happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. That is not what happens.
No, it's
not even. Yeah,
it's the village. It's the village.
It's the village, right? So that is my number one beef with this movie. Is the trailer builds it up. That is Corban, Matt. Matt asks, "Is that Corban?"
Matt is.
He didn't put a question mark. He didn't put a question mark in there. So I'm adding that emphasis. Is that Corban?
He's trolling me. What is up, Matt? What is up? Happy to see you awake this time. That's inside joke.
So, do you guys feel that they deliberately lied to us in the trailer to make us think this was a different kind of movie? Because that scene with the airplane going across the sky, flickering out, that's not how it happens in the movie. The airplane just goes across. They all look at it. Never flickers.
Yeah. I feel like Sam's going to have a lot more nuance. So I'm going to throw out my basic take on this, which is I think that it was meant to be like that red herring. Isn't the same director the guy who did Get Out or whatever, right?
No, it's the producer of Get Out and Us.
So if we remember
Jordan Peele,
yeah,
Jordan Peele had nothing to do with this movie.
There you go, exactly. But I was thinking they were trying to do the same type of basic premise of, oh, we're gonna fast one in there, and you're led to believe one thing to the theaters going into the movie, and then this subtle shift that also changes everything in the movie goes and changes the difference. So I don't know if it was like a direct misleading, in my opinion, as them trying to be more clever than it actually ended up. But that was my initial response. Like I thought the same thing, Lance, but like I was like, yeah, I see what they were trying to do.
Well, the premise that the trailer sets up, that this is potentially like a merging of alternate dimensions or time travel or that supernatural element, is a hell of a lot more interesting than what actually happened.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I agree.
I liked parts of this movie. I didn't love this movie. So Sam and I got into it a little bit over text. You did not like it, right, Sam?
No, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah. I liked parts of it because it had me like, oh, what's going on? Like I had that thought in my head throughout the movie. And I like movies that kind of make me do that a little bit. That's one of the reasons why I love Tenet so much. Is I'm like, what is going on here? At the end, you just feel stupid, right? You're just like, wait, so they're just way deep in the woods of a Civil War reenactment museum? Like that's where they're doing all this? And nobody's hearing these gunshots, or like nobody's coming to see what's going on deep in the woods? Like it just seems so lazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Sam, do you agree?
Yeah, let's get it.
Because Sam looks like he's like, let me take a deep breath in.
That's
and I'm gonna blow your minds.
Here we are. I knew it was coming.
So when you have a twist, a movie that relies on a twist, the twist has to increase the tension.
Right.
This one, the twist was she's not traveling back and forth between time periods. She just got kidnapped, and it's The Village. And by Village, I mean the M. Night Shyamalan movie that came out probably 16, 17 years ago, where it's a group of people from modern times who have built a kind of Plymouth Rock type, pilgrim type community to try and isolate themselves from modern society because they've all suffered some kind of trauma. Here you have a group of white Confederate sympathizers or idolizers from modern times who have kind of stolen away and built this plantation where they decided they're going to kidnap black people, bring them there, and force them into a slave and slave labor relationship for purely evil purposes, right? There's no good motivation here other than they're evil people and they're going to do evil things, and that's all there is.
Which is solidified so throughout the movie they're picking cotton in the fields, right? And then it shows that scene of all the cotton they just picked, and they just lit it on fire.
They just
right?
burn it up.
So obviously this isn't going anywhere, right? So it's not like they're using this cotton to sell and make money. No, they just have a large group of black people that they kidnapped and put into a field to pick cotton for no reason whatsoever, just to be monsters. And that to me doesn't scare me. When they're just normal people doing monstrous things, truly evil things for no reason other than they're racist. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Where's the motivation? Just to be cruel to other people? Like that's what it is. I like to think that yes, there are people that have that cruel mentality. But for a group of people to find each other like that and just start kidnapping people and have them work in cotton fields, like I would hope that doesn't exist. But I don't know.
I understand the choices that they made. They were going for something quick, something simple, but they could have made some more interesting choices. And the reason I didn't like this movie is because the trailer actually made it seem like it was going to be a more interesting movie, Lance, as you touched on earlier. And it ended up being just a very ho-hum And if you're going to copy the premise of a movie, don't copy The Village. The Village was not good.
It's not even M. Night Shyamalan's good one.
You know,
right?
You're setting this up. You're setting this up as like a mind bender, right? So copy something like Donnie Darko or Requiem for a Dream or something like that. You know, you want to put kind of a BLM or a woke twist on it. That's cool, but you know, copy something good. Copy something that makes you like your head spin. And I did work out kind of a rough movie mechanic outline for what I thought the movie was going to turn into. And so I'll share that with you right now. The way they had it look in the movie was like when she's asleep in modern day, she's awake during the antebellum period, right? And then
a movie like that or a TV show?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna research that while you're talking.
But they basically made it seem like she was shifting between these two time periods in the trailer, and they should have just stuck with that. That's actually an interesting premise. But when she's awake in one period, she's not sure if it was a dream or what in the other period, or she just is sure that it was a dream until the scars and the wounds from each period start to mix. And so she starts to lose grip of which one is real, right?
Yeah.
Am I an antebellum person dreaming of modern times, or am I a modern person dreaming of antebellum times? I can't tell. You know, let's say she cuts her hand in modern times, and then when she wakes up in the antebellum period, she's got a cut on her hand. Or she falls and skins her knee in the antebellum time, and then when she wakes up, she's got a skin knee in the modern time. And then she kind of connects the dots and says, well, actually, it's both. I'm simultaneously existing in both modern time and antebellum period. So now I have a chance to affect some change. With my modern sensibilities, I can now affect the past and bring about some good that will help the future, that will change the future. And so I can give Black people a leg up. You know, that's what her modern sensibilities would want her to do, right? And so she goes about trying to free all the slaves, and she does. She succeeds, but in the process, she has to give her life. But she's okay with that because she's going to wake up in modern times and she's going to feel really good about herself because she did some real good, and so sure, that's what happens. Yeah.
Oh man.
But then when she wakes up in modern times, she's still, you know, going about feeling really good about herself. But the problem is that in modern times, there's a lot of cynical, violent people. And so I thought it would have been a really great twist, a really great turn of events. Really, I shouldn't say great, but interesting turn of events. If one of the people that she was trying to help ended up attacking and killing her in the modern times as well. And so that's kind of the horror element of it, is there's no happy endings in a horror movie. She affects some good, feels good about herself, but then it's kind of stolen away from her in the last moments as
when she can truly relish into the accomplishments that she's made.
That she did.
Yeah, but the thing is like there's this certain amount of hubris that leads her to believe that she's changed the modern time somehow, that things, because she did something differently in the past, that the modern times have healed and that there's no violence now. And so this kind of this self-delusion, self-hubris, or self-delusion and hubris leads her to take a chance that she wouldn't normally take by helping somebody that she doesn't know, and then he ends up killing her. So that's the take I was hoping to see. That, you know, in a horror movie, nobody gets off scot-free. You know, no good deed goes unpunished. I think there's a market for these types of movies, but you know, Get Out has proven it. Us has proven it that these types of themes can be very effective at conveying
both significantly better movies.
Yeah, very good movies. And certainly very marketable, but this movie is not the same quality. It wasn't even on the same level, and it shouldn't be mentioned in the same conversation with those others. Jordan Peele's doing a great job with these types of movies that speak to the Black experience and also convey a very compelling horror story. Whereas this one, I feel like they were just trying to crank something out real quick, and they borrowed the plot of The Village and added some modern themes to it, but didn't really think it through. No. That's my take.
I agree with you. I think that's a significantly better premise for this movie, because they do market it as it's going to be some sort of horror movie, but it's not. It's more of like a thriller. And then the other problem I had with it, she didn't spend enough time in the modern times, right? I think the movie got off to the wrong foot when it started with her in the Civil War era, right? And it spends almost half the movie before she even gets into the modern times, right? It takes a while to get to that point. So you're like,
I think it was about 40 minutes on her first day there.
Yeah. 40 minutes in was what I got around where the reveal.
Yeah. Which
it's another 20 minutes to the midway point where they give you the twist, which is that she's not flipping back and forth. She was kidnapped.
Which it just felt lazy. I don't know. Like, the reason I didn't love this movie, it's not like I'm going to go out and purchase it, right? Like, I own Get Out and Us. They're sitting on my shelf. I'm not going to go buy this one. There were a couple scenes in it that I was like, oh, that was badass. Like, significantly the one where she throws the guy that's been essentially raping her into the fire pit, and then tricks the other two guys to run in there to check on him, and lights the whole damn thing on fire and just walks away. So badass, dude. Like a Dwayne Johnson moment in Fast and Furious. Like, don't look at the explosion behind you type thing. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, that was cool, right? And the fact that she burned the three guys that you hate the most throughout the whole movie, also awesome. And then when she's dragging Jena Malone from the horse, and she runs into that statue of who was that? The Confederate guy, Robert E. Lee, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that was badass, right? So there's a couple scenes in there. I was like, oh man, that was awesome.
I think
payoff, the payoff just kind of diluted it.
And that's what. Not only was the path that was horrible for me, but it's like, especially when I'm watching timepiece movies, typically slavery, whatever. You and that you're going to see the atrocities of that time period. It comes with the territory, that sort of thing. For me, in the past, when watching them, I am of the opinion, okay, I'm going to see it. Am I going to like it? No. Is it meant to be liked or enjoyed? Obviously not. But the payoff is somewhere, either in terms of a learning lesson at the end, or something that you walk away and think, long after the movie is done, about certain themes that are not, because of the violence and the atrocities that are presented in the film, but rather a byproduct of that. Like, you're seeing this and it's unpleasant, but there's something else. The lack of a payoff in this movie only made sitting through the many uncomfortable scenes in the movie that much more unsatisfying. Because from the very beginning, when that one woman is getting, choked and shot, and other, like, the many different scenes I'm going, I'm like, wow, that's like, okay, I'm watching this. Obviously, like, I'm not cool with it, but whatever. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But the payoff's going to be the twist, whatever. And the classic, okay, the hero takes over, the protagonist, gets the better of her captors at the end, is great for that individual story. But after seeing everything that happened there and realizing that was just the story, the A to Z was just that. It was no other underlying message. Maybe there was some message that was built in or baked in about how maybe from their perspective, things hasn't really changed that much from then and now. But it was so extreme that even if that was what they were trying to go with, and I'm really grasping at straws to hope that there was some extra subtlety there, I don't see it. So with that being said, it's like, well, it was kind of gratuitous, and for what? Like, at the end of the day, I just felt like, okay, like I don't want to say I wasted time. It made me come on here and talk with y'all, but in the grand scheme of things, it just didn't do anything for me. Like Sam said, I wouldn't even mention it among any of the movies they might have been trying to, adopt after, but I wouldn't even put it on like the second or third echelon of that. Like it was just, it fell flat in every way, and where it did focus on, in my opinion, was just over the top, and to what end?
Yeah. The only message I felt towards the end that they were trying to convey was there's still evil out there, right? Which we know. We know that is. I mean, there's groups out there that do really heinous things. B, there's still a group of people that are celebrating these idols from this war, and there's these Civil War reenactment parks and things like that. And I'm like, why do these things exist, right? But did you really need this whole movie to like send that message? Like, I feel like Get Out does a job of sending out the woke message much better than Antebellum, right? Antebellum just seemed like, for instance, my work. I work for American Family Insurance, and they're on this big diversity push, right? Diverse hires and diverse promotions and things like that. They had us watch this movie, Freedom, with Cuba Gooding Jr. That's free on YouTube. Fantastic movie, right? He's a slave, and he's trying to get into Canada to escape slavery with his wife and something else. Extremely emotional movie, right? And that did more for me, convincing me, there's still a lot of change that needs to be done, right? And at no point does that movie come into modern times, right? It's just showing me what happened back then, right? I walked away from that movie feeling so empowered, just watching it here from my desk, off of YouTube, than I did in this movie. And I think this movie wanted to empower people, but it put a really cheesy element on it, and it didn't offer us anything new, like Sam said, except a couple cool scenes. And it doesn't really, the big payoff I feel for them was the moment that the racist white lady smashed her head on Robert E. Lee, and that they had a bulldozer knock over a Civil War reenactment park sign.
You guys have missed the point of this movie. You have missed the point of this movie. The whole movie was just a vehicle for Gabourey Sidibe to tell a man that she is a princess and that she needs to be treated like a princess.
Oh my God.
It was just so Gabourey Sidibe could tell a man that he has no game, and that so she could coach him how to have game. That was the whole point of this movie, was Gabourey Sidibe. That's it.
Oh man.
Hey man, big girls there's some big beautiful girls, man. That Ashley Graham.
The only scene that I will remember from this movie
is that.
But she came off like, I've heard women tell off guys like that before, right? Like, what the hell's wrong with you, right? Like, you're really gonna pick me up with that cheesy ass line? Like, what's wrong with you? She came off as so freaking annoying. Now I'm like, just you opening your mouth should make that dude turn the other direction. Like, I dodged a bullet, right? Like, you're crazy and annoying, and I couldn't spend more than 5 minutes with you in this room, right?
We cannot do a review of Antebellum without talking about Gabourey Sidibe's performance on coaching a man how to order a drink for a woman.
There was some, yeah. That is one that's gonna be sneaky memorable. Now that you mentioned that, because I was like,
oh, Matt is going on and on. Where is Tyler? I'm watching Stuber right now. I want to hear Tyler's opinion. Da 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 da. Like, he won't stop.
That is in
Corban. Are you playing podcast bingo?
So
you got 5 in a row yet?
No, I did. Okay, so I did. I was asked yesterday. I was on Grizzle Geek filling in for Doug because he wasn't in, and I did our show. We did ours at like 8:45 because Matt fell asleep and so we weren't able to start at normal time. It's like an hour later. Yeah, I was happy about that. And then here I am today. So we're getting it in. Matt hasn't mentioned that, but yeah, we went around and we did our thing. So yeah, I had a time with Girls with Geek. I had a good time yesterday on Absolute Geek as always, and then here I am here. It's like reconnecting with friends on different avenues. This is great. It happens, once every 6 months, and I love when the circuit continues. We gotta, musical cheers it.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you, Corban. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
so
fun.
Corban, Sam, Tyler, and I went down to Tucson Comic-Con last November and had the awesome opportunity to get to know Corban deeper than just on the podcast level that we had before.
Oh my gosh, has it almost been a year since we did that?
Yes,
yeah, November 10th last year, I think it was. But
that's crazy.
Dude, that was one of the best trips ever, right? Wasn't that such a blast? I mean, the con was okay. I mean, I love expo floors. So you guys know that about me. I love going to buy my pops and stuff. So I'll have fun at cons. But the best part was just hanging out in this little VRBO or Airbnb whatever.
Oh,
that Tyler is never allowed to pick an Airbnb ever again. Because we walk in there like, where are the TVs? Where's the Wi-Fi? Like, what's going on here?
Oh man. It was so fun though. Like the talk, I remember obviously, Sam talking, us meeting up and having conversations. The hot dog spot we went to, and it was spicy. I remember that. Like, you're right. Like I remember enough about the actual comic experience, but like I remember so much about us just hanging out.
I couldn't tell you a single panel we went to. I couldn't tell you. All I remember was at one point we did see the woman that plays the voice of Misty from Pokemon.
Yeah.
That was Sam and I.
No. That was Game On Expo, dude. That was Game On Expo.
I'm about to say it wasn't even me.
No, Lance, you're forgetting the most important thing was that time. Lance, you're forgetting the most important thing was when Gabourey Sidibe picked up on Corban.
That is the part we keep coming back to. Y'all.
Yeah. Gabourey Sidibe sent Corban a bottle of champagne and said, "Hey, honey, this can happen. This can still happen."
And she said, "Not with you."
Story of my life. No, I'm playing.
She said, "You better be coming with diamonds if you're going to get in this."
This can still happen.
No, Corban's a blast because at every con that we've been to together, there's some sort of like speed dating or something like that. And it is the single biggest thing on his list that he's most excited about is the speed dating things. And I want to say in Tucson they didn't have it, right?
They did not. Yeah, they were going to.
He was pissed off. He's like, "How am I supposed to find love now? I need that nerd love. Where am I going to find it?"
You know what? I tried to get back at it this first half of the year, and then I said, I'm taking the rest of the year off. So I am just bettering myself, living my best life, and then we're right back at it come 2021. But I still have what I hope, Lance. You know it. You have to. But no, it's crazy to think it was that long, but that was so much fun.
It was you that was snoring, right? Matt brought up you were snoring so hard the window shook.
I thought that was me. I'm the snorer. It wasn't.
Yeah, I feel like. Thank you, Sam. Great. I feel like I had a moment. I think Sam came to my defense then too because I thought it was me. I even said I know I'm a snorer. I know I'm not. I don't know how big of one I am, but I know I can do it. So I thought it was, but listen.
No, my kids have told me enough times, and I'm pretty sure it was me.
I feel you, Sam. I appreciate. I know. Yeah. I feel.
I don't really snore anymore.
I'm a yeah.
That's because you got
the CPAP. You got the CPAP. But I think I'm like training myself because even if I forget it for a night, like I don't really snore. So I think my body is like training itself to keep my mouth shut essentially and breathe through my nose. So I don't have that because that's where you snore from. Really, is from your mouth. It's sleeping with your mouth open. The machine keeps my mouth shut. And I think I've trained myself because I've slept so many nights with that my mouth just stays closed and I don't snore. I still sleep poorly. I still sleep poorly if I don't have it. But my wife said that she hasn't heard me snore in a long time. So,
wow. Well, there you go.
Sometimes I'm so tired I just fall asleep and forget to put it on.
I want to put this to bed right now. If people can still sleep, there is nothing wrong. I don't even get the snore stigma. Forget it, y'all. Like some of the greatest people ever snores. All right? That's all we need to know. I'm just kidding. I'm just going at it before Matt goes and says some in the comments I'm not able to watch. Oh.
So
yeah, see, something else today.
So next year, we have WonderCon, right? Hopefully, April-ish. We have Phoenix in May, right? We have San Diego in June.
Yeah. San Diego in June. And then New York Comic Con in October. GameCon. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
I don't know if I'll be able to get to San Diego and New York in the same year for Comic Cons. That might lead to divorce, my friends.
Oh gosh.
Oh
man. I'm looking
because you guys know every con that I go to puts me like $2,000 in the hole, right? Because I come back with 100 pops. You remember?
Yeah, it's your pop addiction, dude.
I was
like, you gotta stop snorting pop all the time.
So I go a little overboard. Maybe not a little, maybe a lot overboard.
Yeah, no. Here's the funniest thing is every time Lance buys a pop, he goes, "Anna's gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me." Every single purchase, he's gonna kill me. It's like, Lance, listen to your conscience. Stop buying this crap.
Hey man, I need to feed my addictions, you know. At least it's this and not like drugs and alcohol, right? So
I don't know. I think the drugs and alcohol is probably cheaper than the pops.
You know, you may have a point, but listen, his long-term health is secure. There you go. Oh man.
So Corban, I was going to say to complete your bingo rollout, Larry from STS is going to be on. STS guys is on right after our show, so you can just head on over there.
Oh
yeah, hit that bingo. Hit that bingo marker.
Hit that bingo. Oh no, it's a well-rested day after this, y'all. I should go in the chats and hang out, but this was the highlight of the Saturday, so it's been fun.
Let me ask you: Have you put tennis balls on your walker yet? Have you done that? You know, old people play bingo. Do I have to connect the dots here?
Oh, listen, I'm sorry.
Come on, Lance. Oh,
I'm sorry, Lance. That didn't get me. I was like, wait,
Hey man, it's been all hits tonight. I'm allowed one stinker. All right, one stinker.
There you go. We'll let you right.
Yeah, that's a grounder.
All right, so it sounds like we don't have much to say about Antebellum, right?
No,
we didn't like it.
No,
I liked pieces of it. Like if you just showed me a YouTube video of those 3 or 4 montages, you know, of those pieces I like, I'd hit like on that YouTube video. You throw all the other filler in, I'm hitting down arrow on that, or down thumbs down on that YouTube video. But
Lance wants a full-length picture of Gabourey Sidibe hitting on random dudes at the bar.
No, I want an hour long of just Corban hitting on Gabrielle Sidibe at different bars around the country and her just shutting them down every time. That is a winner, guys. That is a winner. That is instantly 10 million views.
Yeah, there you go.
Yellow mess. Easy.
There you go. Oscar material. Oscar material.
I think we're going to do that. When we go the cons, I'm just going to have Corban pick up random girls, you know, try to pick them up. And then we'll film it. And then we'll just cut pieces from Antebellum with Gabrielle Sidibe in between.
Oh, there you go. That's not bad. Yeah. Actually, that's not bad. That could be actually pretty good.
That's a winner right there.
Y'all messed up.
You know,
it's all right.
Because here's the deal. That scene, they never show the guy's face, right? He's just basically, it's just his hip that they put in the shot. So we could just cut it where in between lines, Corban's like, well, actually, that's kind of rude what you're saying to me right now. You know, and giving his own commentary. That would actually be a pretty decent montage, I think. I think we can make something good out of that.
There you go. Okay. I'm with it.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. And then we'll just piece in portions of Sam and I sit in the back corner, like just laughing our butts off. Yeah. You just got burned. No, what I really want to do is have do like a Zoom speed dating for Corbin, where we just have just
Corbin,
a rotation.
Corbin, everyone wants to get you. Wasn't it a guy from the Christmas Story trying to get you hooked up with somebody?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was honestly, that was listen, Sam. That's on my list of top 20 things that happened in 2020. Or I'll tell you that right now. No, I appreciate everybody looking out for me. You don't understand. No one is more desperate than your boy here. But
you heard that, lady? He's willing to do anything.
No, but I am.
You heard it here on Couch Country. Corbin will sell out for a nickel.
Gabourey, if you're watching.
Gabourey. No, I'm playing. For the rest of the year, I'm next year I'm back on the prowl. This year I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna next
you know what? 2020 is a write-off.
Exactly. You said it, Sam.
My biggest issue with if I was a single guy in this time right now is all you can see is this, right? Like that's all you can see when you go out. So like, what if they just have buck teeth for like miles or something like that? They take out like they say, yeah, I'll go on a date with you, and then you get there and you're just like, oh man, Lance, you look like a beaver.
Lance, I'm gonna tell you. Here's the deal. There was a couple. Look, you can write off 2020. No one's gonna fault you, but there are people out there making it happen. There was a couple where a guy saw a girl from across the street on top of her apartment building, and he sent a drone over there with an invitation to have dinner. He was going to sit on his balcony at his table, and she would sit on the roof of her building.
Oh, I saw this video.
He ordered dinner over there and had it delivered to her while he had dinner at his building, and they texted each other, and they were chatting with each other while they ate. They're getting married now. That couple is now engaged to be married. So
good for him.
So no one's going to blame you for writing things off, Corbin, but maybe while everyone else is sleeping on 2020, you can strike it rich. You can strike gold here.
Okay. The only way Corbin's going to see somebody like on their balcony is if he's sitting on the roof of his house with like binoculars or in a tree or something like that.
Batman
like
style.
Back to the Future is what I was going to say. George McFly peeping on Leah Thompson from.
No, it's when he's going to be calling for overdue library books and be like, "Hey, baby,
you guys are done."
I see your name. I see your name is Cinnamon. You have an overdue library book of Kama Sutra. Let's meet up.
That would be more than. Oh my gosh, that'd be more than creepy out there in these streets.
Oh my gosh! As you can tell, if my wife ever leaves me, I'm going to die alone because I have no game. So right I need to do whatever it takes to keep this train rolling, baby.
Right there with you, bro.
This is why I played guitar, man. It was my only way to get girls to notice me. Because
lucky for Corbin, he's got some athleticism on his side.
He does.
Sam. Oh, thanks, Lance. Y'all fun. We're gonna try it, and when we do, like I said, just like we did the Comic-Con, I'm gonna have to let y'all know. We're gonna have to be the group. We would have.
I think
we had a nice. I think 3 days out there.
I think we're all gonna try to go to WonderCon, right? I think because that's like the first one that should hit. The Anaheim one, and I know Absolute Geek has passes to that. So hopefully we can all make a good trip over to Anaheim for WonderCon.
All right, maybe we should close out Antebellum with our ratings before we move on to our future plans.
This just shows you how much we love Antebellum that we just had to find something else to talk about.
Yeah, we kind of blew through it, right? For such a long movie, it didn't require a lot of conversation.
Let's close the book. Let's close the book on it.
Yeah, once Sam fixed it, it was like, okay, great, because that movie was horrible. Sam fixed it, problem resolution, and here we are.
Although he described a show, so his idea of two different worlds when you're awake and dreaming was a show that the dude from 13 Reasons Why was in called Awake. It's exactly what happened.
Oh, right.
The main guy, when he was alive,
there was a blue world and a red world.
Yes. So he was alive, his wife was alive, and then when he went to sleep, when he was awake, his wife was alive, he went to sleep, his son was alive, and he couldn't figure out which one was the right timeline.
Yeah, but those were happening simultaneously, whereas in this version of Antebellum, it's 2 different time periods.
Yeah, but they're the same kind of idea.
And dude, like I said, you can copy premises. There's no problem with copying premises, but make sure that the one you copy is worth copying. Don't copy The Village. Don't copy Lady in the Water. Don't copy all the crappy M. Night Shyamalan movies. Copy a good one. Don't copy crappy ones.
Like The Sixth Sense or Signs. Let's go that way.
Go with one of those.
Yeah. Like all the Confederate soldiers turned out to be aliens. Instantly more interesting movie.
That's honestly, you're not wrong.
That's like Galaxy Quest.
Mars. They were on Mars, and they didn't realize it, and they were all aliens in people suits.
There you go.
Let's not mistake it here. I'm not the movie mechanic. Okay.
Oh, there can only be one. I mean, I'm not. I'm barely a movie watcher. So
my solution. Oh, that movie sucked. Just add some boobs to it. That'll make it instantly better.
Oh man, well it depends on the boobs.
Gabourey Sidibe, or however you say her name. How do you say? I don't know.
Gabourey Sidibe.
Sidibe.
Yeah,
Sidibe. The D goes before the B.
It sounds like something at a restaurant, like for a dish that I wouldn't be able to pronounce.
Okay, well, don't order anything called a Gabourey Sidibe.
May I have the chef special, the Gabourey Sidibe?
Still screwing it up.
All right, Corban, you are the guest, my friend.
Thank you.
Go ahead. You get to rate first, as is tradition on the Crunchy program.
That's what. Okay, I don't know. I was like, okay, it swings between 4 and 5 in my head. I know there's a throw pillow. Don't have to worry about that with this movie. I'm gonna give it out of 5. I'm gonna give it 1. I really was not a fan. Like, I know one's low. I'm not trying to be all shock jockey, but like, all the redeeming qualities was what you guys mentioned could be used to fix it. Like, even the parts that you mentioned, Lance, that were kind of vindicating and kind of cool scenes for me was like, okay, please tell me there's more. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna do 1 couch cushion, and they're lucky they get that. It's gonna be one of my dirtier ones too.
Yeah, the one with all the chips.
There you go.
Crumbs.
You agreed with me. The 3 scenes could be just a 10-minute YouTube video, right? Like,
yeah, I thought they were solid. Those last 3. I mean, after everything we'd already witnessed, it was like, okay, I'm glad they gave us something that wasn't like, oh, they just had a heart attack or something. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm with you, but it was just like, whew. That was a lot, man. That was a lot.
Sam, what about you, my friend?
You know, I really regret the 2 hours I spent watching this movie. I don't know that. I think someone would probably have to pay me to watch this one again. But I do. Like I said, the Gabourey Sidibe scene in the restaurant is going to stick with me for a while. And for her sake, I'm going to give it 2 couch cushions rather than 1.
Okay. So Sam and I had dissenting opinions on this movie when we were texting, because I was texting with Sam like right after I watched it. He was in the middle of it. And I thought Janelle Monáe did a fantastic job, okay, with what she was given. Like, I thought she did a very good job. So if you're speaking on performances, nobody's performance was bad, in my opinion. Right? Would you guys agree with that?
No.
Do you think Janelle Monáe did a good job?
I thought she was just, she had like 1 face. You know, she had, well, I guess 2. She had the happy face and the scared face, but otherwise that's it. And then all the bad guys had 0 depth to them. They were just mustache twirlers.
That is
the
true.
only the only performance worth mentioning is Gabourey Sidibe, and
who was in the movie for 5 minutes total.
He was in the movie for 5 minutes.
That made the mark for Sam.
Yeah.
So, but this is what I was saying. Like, we had dissenting opinions on this. I didn't like it, but I found some redeeming qualities. But I'm with Sam. I give it a 2 out of 5, which is interesting because we had differing opinions on it. But real quick, I don't know the news. I don't recall the news that Sam went over and Max went over last week. Sam, do you remember if you guys talked about Wonder Woman now getting pushed? You guys did talk about that?
Yep.
So nothing's really happened.
Whole lot of nothing. Invincible.
Oh my gosh, 2020 sucks, dude.
All right, it doesn't all suck because you know what? 2020 is the year of the birth of Triple D Dodgeball, and you now have the opportunity, nay, the privilege, to watch Corban play dodgeball in real time.
It's a lot of fun.
We live stream every Wednesday from 8-ish to 9-ish. We actually run 2 courts, but only one of the courts is live streaming. You can find the league itself on Facebook, Triple D Dodgeball League. We also do highlight videos, which we release on Sundays. And Corban is featured heavily.
Oh my gosh.
In all of these highlight reels.
A lot of fun. Thanks.
We have a good time. If you're in the mood for watching some the Ocho level sports, we certainly hit that. We hit that note.
Ocho level? Did you say the Ocho level?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's real out there.
We had a good time.
Yeah, it didn't. And what's his name? Is that your brother? Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I saw some breathtaking displays of just accuracy and dodging. That last game, I was whooping so loud. Woo!
Oh, dude! No,
Corban.
If you go onto the recording of the live stream,
the
very last throw that he throws against Brian, he freaking curved that ball.
Get out!
He curved that ball.
He did it
on purpose, and he got Brian out with a curveball.
Dude, the fact that is this on the actual page?
Brian Newell. I don't know if you're friends with him yet.
Oh, okay. I'm not. I need to find him. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be okay. I will, because that was watching it in real time, dude. Let me tell you, Lance, this guy was like one guy was like 4 or 5 people, probably making up an extra person. I don't care, and he just ducked and weaved and it. Whew.
It's my brother.
He was
his brother. Yes.
He's the kind of guy that, like, if I went to go play, I'd play one series, see everything he's doing, be embarrassed, and just watch the rest of the game.
Oh no, it's the kind of thing where you're like, I can't believe I'm on the same court with this guy. I got to step up, and so it doesn't shame you; it motivates you. That's how I feel.
What you don't realize is that my athletic ability, if I were to walk out of that court, that is the peak. There's no stepping up. It's like the minute I walk on, I'm putting everything out there, and I suck.
We're not turning anybody away.
Dude,
we're not turning anybody away.
Yeah, everyone comes in, you'd have fun. Like, it's all skill. Like, I'm definitely not a pro for sure. Like, there's some guys out there who, like I said, Sam is bro. Like, they play dodgeball, but like, it's a lot of fun, man. You should definitely peek in. It's worth it.
This is like when we have Halo nights, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'll come play. And then I play like 2 sets and realize I'm just a shooting range.
At least you
Lance, you don't have to play. You don't have to play, but you can.
I know.
The live stream is public. Live stream is public. I'm gonna put.
Actually, share the link. Share the link on the Couch Crunchers Facebook.
Brian Newell on Facebook. For the live stream,
I'm just cracking jokes. I'm just cracking jokes, but I will become just target practice. Like I am not aware of my surroundings. Like I won't even know. Like I'll be watching this guy. This guy's not going to hit me, and somebody over here hits me. I'm like, this is not my skill set. You want me to write you a pretty song? I can do that all day. You want me to design a cool? You want me to design a cool dodgeball logo with a wrench behind it?
Yeah,
I do totally want those your guy.
I do want those things.
You want me to stand out there and get hit by dodgeballs? I can do that too. But
I don't care. I don't care if you get hit by a dodgeball. But if you're gonna make a logo and a theme song, I would totally be down for that.
Yeah,
rock it, bro. For real.
I wouldn't be able to hit the broadside of a barn with a dodgeball. I guarantee you.
Some of our guys look like the broadside of a barn.
Oh man, it was fun.
So next week we're gonna watch the Haunting of Bly Manor. Sam and I. We're gonna find a third. Corban, you're more than welcome to if you think you can pump out a show in a week. It's what, eight episodes, Sam?
Oh,
9. There's 9 episodes.
9 episodes.
Appreciate that.
Good Netflix binge. So if you want the invitation's there, we are not guaranteeing it to the audience, but you have an invitation.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, Antebellum, the consensus is the average is 1.5 out of 5, it sounds like. So so miss this one. Do not watch it.
No, it's really not worth the job.
Do yourself a favor, just watch Get Out or Us again, and
or Triple D Dodgeball. There's lots of interracial action going on.
Yeah.
Triple D
every Wednesday, right?
Every Wednesday night.
Twice the excitement. Maybe you save yourself about 40 minutes. It's an hour. It's like
that's right. It's all condensed. All that action condensed in 1 hour.
Drama. Yeah, it's you know what? Yeah, I think do that. Why not?
Oh, guys, do you guys have to leave right now?
Why?
Did you guys watch the last episode of The Boys?
No.
Oh, I need to. That's kind of my plan.
Okay,
I don't want to talk about that.
So Corban, if you come on next week, and
break it down,
maybe we'll talk about the last episode of The Boys because it was.
Yeah, I need to watch it. Really, I heard.
I'm excited to talk with it to somebody or talk about it with someone.
I feel you. I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
All right, guys. So that brings us to the end of our show. There's no big real news that's been happening except Kevin Bacon wants to join Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and play himself, which sounds awesome. But that brings us to the end of our show. Make sure to check out us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, your mom's house. We're everywhere, man. So, and Corban, the Comic Book Barbarian, where can they find you?
Oh, on Facebook for one, at the Comic Book Barbarian. Have a YouTube channel. Might have some news on a pod episode front. Breaking news. We'll see. Stay tuned. But that's really it. I'm just trying to generate some content in a year that I have dropped the ball. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
They can also find you on the Absolute Geek podcast, right?
Oh, the Absolute Geek podcast, for one, is the number one spot to check us out. Every Friday night between 7:30 and, I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do another mad joke. 7:30-ish every Friday night, we get down, go crazy, talk, normal geek culture, odd news, all of that. So, yeah, that's the number one spot to check that out. And that's all. I don't really got a whole lot going on this pod of the year. That's it.
So, Corban, correct me if I'm wrong. So, I've heard from lots of people that have listened to the Absolute Geek program. Your very, 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 very best episode was last week's. Am I right?
Wow! I'm sitting there like, I don't remember what happened.
Lance was on there.
Yes. No, I was getting fair food.
Best episode ever out of
was when you were on.
400. How many episodes have you guys had?
500 plus. I mean, I've only done like maybe like 60, possibly.
Out of 500
a lot.
episodes. Out of 500 episodes, last week's was the best. Like,
because you were on it. I tuned in a little bit. Like I said, I was getting fair food, so I was shoving my cheeks. That was fun. But yeah, you're right. That show, you raised everyone's game over there. And
I just keep Matt on his toes, man. I just keep him on his toes. It's like our shows. Whenever Matt's on the show, those are our best shows. And now Corban, when Corban's on the show, that's our best shows.
See, you guys are way too flattering. Don't let it get to my head.
We should just have Matt and Corban on every single show, and then we'll be up there. We'll be up there with Joe Rogan and Mark Maron and the rest of them. So yeah. Oh, I do want to give a shout out. Last week when I was on the Absolute Geek program, we talked with Greg Schoen, who writes a book called The Rascals. So make sure to go on Indiegogo and support The Rascals. And if you need a link, it is in our Twitter feed from a week ago, and I'll make sure to share that again. I am very excited to get mine in the mail, but from our friend Greg Schoen, who we're going to have on the show very soon. He's an awesome guy.
He's a really
cool
guy.
Yeah, but until next time, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Corban, on Twitter, Facebook, Absolute Geek, Grizzle Geek, STS guys, everybody that made an appearance tonight. Thank you so much. And until next time, keep on geeking on.